And here is the Writer's Almanac for Thursday, February the 10th, 2022. It's the birthday of Bertolt Brecht, born in Augsburg, Bavaria, 1898. When he was just 30 years old, he had his first big success, the Three-Penny Opera, which he wrote with composer Kurt Weill. When Hitler rose to power, Brecht sought asylum in Scandinavia and then eventually settled in Santa Monica, where he wrote more than 50 screenplays in 6 years, only one of which was produced, Hangmen Also Die, in 1943. Made his way to East Germany in 1949, went on to run the Berliner Ensemble. Bertolt Brecht, who said art is not a mirror held up to reality, but a hammer with which to shape it. It's the birthday of the New Zealand poet Fleur Adcock, born in Papakura in 1934. The novelist Mary McGarry Morris, born and married in Connecticut in 1943. She had a big bestseller, 1995, Songs in Ordinary Time. And it's the birthday of Boris Pasternak, born Moscow, 1890. Started out as a poet, wrote 2 collections of poetry, and in the early 30s began work on his masterpiece, Dr. Zhivago, following the lives of more than 60 characters through the first half of 20th century Russia. Pasternak wrote, "I always dreamt of a novel in which, as in an explosion, I would erupt with all the wonderful things I saw and understood in this world." It was finished in 1955. And it's the birthday of the Norwegian journalist Astrid Seierstad, born in Oslo, 1970, best known for The Bookseller of Kabul, which came out in 2003, was a big bestseller. Astrid Seierstad, who after college in Norway went to China to study Chinese, to Berlin to learn German, Moscow to work for a news agency, Belgrade to live in an artist's colony, also lived in Mexico, France, Italy. She became fluent in 5 languages and okay, as she puts it, in 4 more. And after 9/11, she spent weeks in rural parts of Afghanistan with the commandos of the Northern Alliance, traveling in military vehicles, sleeping on stone floors and in mud huts. She rode into Kabul with the Northern Alliance in November 2001 and found a bookstore, a place owned by an elegant, gray-haired Afghan man, well-educated, who loved to talk about politics and writing. The man was passionate about books. He'd hid them from the Taliban. He'd gone to prison. He invited her to a meal with his family, and she decided to write a book about them. She lived with them for 3 months, and the book she wrote, The Bookseller of Kabul, was a huge success, except with the bookseller himself, who was not happy about the way he'd been portrayed, and he flew to Norway to denounce her, and wrote his own book called Once Upon a Time, There Was a Bookseller in Kabul, about how a Norwegian troll visits Afghanistan and abuses his family's hospitality. Here's a poem for today by Anne Sexton, entitled Snow. Snow, blessed snow, comes out of the sky like bleached flies. The ground is no longer naked. The ground has on its clothes. The trees poke out of sheets, and each branch wears the sock of God. There is hope everywhere. I bite it. Someone once said, don't bite till you know if it's bread or stone. What I bite is all bread, rising, yeasty as a cloud. There is hope everywhere. Today God gives milk, and I have the pail. A poem by Anne Sexton, Snow, from The Awful Rowing Toward God, published by Houghton Mifflin, used by permission here on the Writer's Almanac. Be well, do good work, and keep in touch.